Hey, what's up guys? It's your girl Rise, and we're back here with Hip Hop World PR News. First on the map, we have Jay-Z. Now the legend is continuously growing his Roc Nation franchise and has officially expanded. The hip-hop icon's entertainment company is launching a TV production division. According to an exclusive Variety report, Mindset Co. executive Patrick Reardon is going to head the department. As Roc Nation's executive VP, Reardon will be responsible for building and running the TV department, focusing on developing and producing premium scripted and unscripted content. Reardon is a veteran producer and executive who had served as an executive VP and co-head at Mindset Co.'s TV department since 2015. Over the past 12 months, Jay has kept busy working on multiple TV projects. Roc Nation's recent TV and film projects include Spike TV's Time, The Khalif Broader Story, which has earned a Peabody Award this year, and up-and-coming Rest in Power, The Trayvon Martin Story, which just premiered at the Tribeca Film Festival. Both were executive produced by Sean Jay-Z Carter. Future television endeavors include an unscripted series with Amazon. Variety last year, Dipset Jim Jones talked about joining Jay-Z's Roc Nation team. Byron Marcellus Robinson Jr., aka Marcellus Apollo, from a small country town in Supperton, Georgia. He started doing music when he was only a toddler and used to perform in front of his grandmother and mother all the time as a child. He had a group with his cousins and little brother called Final Four. Marcellus Apollo was always writing and started telling stories at a very young age. The year 2014 is when he knew he wanted to start rapping. Thankfully, his neighbor was a local town rapper and he got him into the music scene. Shortly after, Marcellus Apollo got a manager, fashion advisor, and producer that just so happened to be his closest friends. It was hard with some nights and days wanting to quit, but he never stopped. Apollo currently has a project on SoundCloud that is doing very well. It's called 13 the EP, and he is currently working on a new project called Saturn V. Marcellus Apollo likes to think of himself as a creative message bringer. Stay on the lookout for him. More Marquee, based out of Tampa by way of Fayetteville, North Carolina. More Marquee is determined to create music that fits into the reality of everyday life. With his debut mixtape, Preservation, set to release April 27th, Marquee wants to introduce something he feels there should be more of on rap's platforms. He has an interesting perspective on life. From street memories to personal struggles, Marquee finds creativity and often soulful ways to translate his experiences into the music. He is influenced by a range of legends from Jay-Z, Kanye West, T.I., and Jadakiss, to new legends such as J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Nipsey Hussle, and Future. He considers himself a student of the game. Be on the lookout as he continues to force his way through the speakers.
Yeah. This shit don't sound the same, nigga. Fuck wrong with you? Welcome to the G party. Go and throw that shit up, nigga. Yeah. Yeah. Country boy in the big city. Took my shoes off just to recreate the feeling. We the truth, all my niggas in the building. I just took the roof off, no more reaching for the ceiling. Yeah, ayy, we reaching for the sky now. Point me in the right direction if I die now. Ayy, I just fell in Henny heaven, I'm alive now. If that girl afloat, brother, come to my house. Ayy, if you running from your man, it's a hideout. If you wanna join the team, we having tryouts. Lou just got them peas, so we never dry now. Mook got them sticks, he might put an eye out. Damn, ayy, don't know what's in my cup now. Smoking on that rapper weed got me stuck now. All these hoes loving me, what the fuck now? I remember being down, but we up now. Yeah.
Aaron Sultan was born on January 1st, 1993, in Detroit, Michigan. His love for music began when he was only 9 years old. At the time, he would record the radio station on a cassette recorder just to hear any Usher song that came on to write his own lyrics to the song. As he grew older, so did his talent. By the time he was 13, he started actually recording and immediately knew he had something special. Being his own worst critic, as most artists are, Aaron has been pushing himself to the limit to be the best artist he can be in the genres of hip hip-hop, R&B, and pop, having musical influences of Usher, Chrisean the Prince, Omarion Jagged Edge, Chris Brown, Jason Derulo, The Chainsmokers, and Kendrick Lamar. It's been years since Aaron dropped new music, but that has recently changed when he released a new single on April 20th featuring producer Tone Jones called No Apologies and is in the works on a mixtape entitled The Epitome. This will drop this summer. You can expect to be seeing a lot more of Aaron in 2018 and the years to come. New York musician Lauryn Hill has added her own twist to Drake's Nice for What banger. The hip-hop veteran recently took the stage to revamp the X Factor sampled single. New footage has emerged of L Boogie providing fresh vocals over the Billboard Hot 100 Songs instrumental. During Hill's set at the Apollo Monday night, the legend jumped out, "See, this is X Factor." He took the sample, "My shit is classic. Here's an example." She sang in place of Drake's regular chorus. "Stop acting like you didn't grow up singing my songs," Hill rapped. "I swooped down on the bitch like I had wings in my arms." The boy made the song celebrating women, and now he's being rightfully put in his place. Darius Nord was born August 14, 1999 in a small city in Youngstown, Ohio. His interest in music came later in his teenage years when he met one of his closest friends, producer and rapper Malik Willis. But he was always into writing and poetry, as he won an honorable mention in a contest from a poem he wrote in 7th grade about the Holocaust. More music is to be expected soon from D. Nord, as he has just set up his own home studio due to lack of studios in his hometown. He plans on releasing a 4-song EP called It's Just Me, June 23rd. However, he currently does have a song available on SoundCloud called Living Good. He also has a mixtape that he's working on at the moment, with a release date tentatively scheduled for December 14th. Be on the lookout for new songs dropping throughout the summer. Devo Slim. He's an up-and-coming artist, and he's devoted to making music that people can vibe to. Devo puts his heart and soul into perfecting his craft. Devo was born in St. Missouri, but Texas raised with a Southern sound and very versatile with a great range in idols from UJK, Lil Boosie, to Nas, Jay-Z, and making good vibes and energetic music. His EP, Grind Time, is now available at all music retail stores. Altitude was born in Houston, Texas. Although a native, he has a deep-rooted connection to Louisiana. After Hurricane Katrina, Altitude's family relocated from New Orleans to Dallas. Once there, he began to develop skills in the art form of hip-hop. This MC prides himself on lyricism, speaking on social and political matters, and having strong faith in God. In 2012, Altitude released his first of 3 mixtapes, and in 2016, he released his debut album, Project Window, on all digital platforms. He is currently working on a self-titled project named Altitude, which is set for a late 2018 summer release. Christopher Lyric Avante Williams, born in Detroit, Michigan, the youngest of 2 sisters and 1 brother. Growing up, he has always had a heart for music and knew that he was destined to be in the entertainment industry. As he discovered that he had a writing ability at the age of 14, when his English teacher saw something in him and was astonished by his poetry. He made a huge decision to leave his hometown and move to Los Angeles, California to audition with a gospel artist named Dedrick Hayden. He now has his own family and has been building his own brand and is on the rise with his latest single, Ride With Me, on all major platforms such as iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon. And his second single, One Up, releases April 29th on all major platforms with pre-music workshop titled Come Up. This workshop is for all the independent artists, teaching them the basic academics behind having your music copyrighted so no one could rob them of their inheritance. His music video for his Ride With Me releases May 28th for the summer breeze. Lyric Avante is ready to take over the world and give us all something worthwhile. Mars Attack. The kind of music that Mars makes is more than just a genre. It's about the truth. The type of songs that he writes are authentic ones that come from his life and what he's gone through. He turns that pain and stress into lyrics with meaning. When he gets into a rhythm about speaking what's on his mind and in his heart, he won't stop until he gets every bit of it off of his chest. old and is all about family. Mars had to grind and work his way to this point in his life. When he started doing this, he realized he was doing something for himself. He understands, though, that going through the struggle is what motivates him to do his music and ensure that he never has to go back. Mars always talks about the truth because that's what he wants. He will pick up on good and bad vibes about people and just wants people to be honest. If you got a problem or something, say it, because he'd rather you let it be known than to have you be fake to his face. Meek Mill has been in the limelight for the longest now. If you haven't been following his case, you should be. As most of us know, he was recently released from jail, and his traveling restrictions have been lifted for working purposes. The Philly rapper had the conditions of his bail amended last week by Judge Denise Brinkley, the same judge who has been accused of having a personal vendetta against him. TMZ reports that Meek has been granted traveling rights outside of Pennsylvania, Montgomery County for business activities. All he has to do is submit any travel plans within 72 hours to the probation department. You didn't have to tell him twice that he had the permission to travel. The Lord knows rapper was spotted out to eat with 76ers owner Michael Rubin in New York City after his business meeting with Roc Nation management team. Cam Bugsy is a 26-year-old artist from the blood-drenched street of East Baltimore. Raising himself in what is currently being called the most dangerous place in America wasn't easy. He was kicked out at a very young age and resorted to acts of violence and all types of criminal mischief to survive. During this time, he found music as a release from his real-life hell. At the tender age of 13, he formed his Twin K music imprint. In a short few years, he got a deal with MTV and was touring across the country. That didn't stop the streets from calling, which led him to catching juvenile life before he was even considered an adult in the eyes of the law. Going in and out of prison, he finally turned his life around upon his 2016 release from Baltimore City Correctional Facility. Since then, he has transitioned from a career criminal to one of the most versatile rap artists Baltimore has ever seen, and is an upstanding, law-abiding member of his community. He vows not to go back down that path that caused him to give so many years to the system.
Okay, on the beat.
What? I'm a little bumpy. It's got me fucked up, man. Niggas just know I said do what I want.
Bitch, I'm young and reckless. I'm young and reckless. I'm young and reckless. I go dumb and seconds. Bitch, I'm young and reckless. I'm young and reckless. I'm young and reckless. Can't nobody check me. Bitch, I'm young and reckless. I'm young and reckless. I'm young and reckless. I go dumb in seconds. Bitch, I'm young and reckless. I'm young and reckless. I'm young and reckless. Can't nobody check me. Niggas know that I'm a demon. Got these bad bitches fiending. Zippers all on my jeans, sipping out the cup, but young nigga leaning. Niggas be hitting, I do too much. Bitches be mad, I don't do enough. Bomb man with Balenciaga, swell a bumpy, who the fuck I do it for? Niggas know I'm young and reckless, cause I always keep it ratchet. Ask about me, I be dragging. Hitting niggas like it's Madden. So much money I can splash it. Stuffing hundreds in the cabinet. A year ago I was average, so they pull a bumpy in the casket.
Omar Outerbridge is an American rap artist from Philadelphia, PA, going by the stage name Smooth O.E. Beginning his music career in Providence, Rhode Island, he started off recording his own music and doing shows for Grind Mode Cypher's Sunday Night Mics. He's a young entrepreneur and CEO of Kraken Records Entertainment. He also is back in school for audio production to perfect his craft, which he plans to one day own an audio production company. Just releasing his second mixtape, Drama and Pain 2, with hit singles On Snap and Put It In. Smooth O.E. said, Drama and Pain 2 is about all of his problems in life, from beginning to end. He said, you can learn more about him than he can tell you face to face. To really get to know me, just listen and that's all I ask. You can find Drama and Pain 2 on SoundCloud and My Mixtapes. Thanks for the love and support. Smooth O.E. Luckman Oliver, aka Deuce Man, born June 8th of '88. He grew up in West Philly in poverty in his grandmother's care because one of his parents was incarcerated and the other was on drugs. He's always listened to rap and been around the crowd that was vibrant to the community. He's always been outgoing and relentless in his pursuit to success. Deuce Man started started music when he was 14 as a method of learning his spelling words every week. His cousin heard it and said it was hot, and he's been rockin' ever since. Deuceman has a brand called Relentless Click, a hungry group ready for exposure and a force to be reckoned with. Big Mar, born and raised in San Francisco, California, was in a group called Wash Boys at George Washington High School. He is now 26 years old and is currently working on a solo career. Maybe one day he'll get the group back together, but for now, he's focusing on himself. Big Mar is a rapper and a songwriter. He's been rapping since he was 10 years old, and he started writing songs when he was back in middle school. He's currently working on his EP called Back Like I Never Left, which will be dropping on his birthday, June 1st, 2018. His first song of the EP, Back Like I Never Left, is called I'm Only. On April 2nd, 2018, it is on SoundCloud and available everywhere for download and streaming. Rapper J. Cole is currently in charge of the Billboard 200 with his 5th full-length KOD, which opens at number 1 with the biggest week of 2018. The record, which is also his 5th consecutive leader, benefits from impressive streaming activity. This week, J. Cole owns a dozen positions on the Hot 100, as every single cut on KOD has nabbed a slot somewhere on the all-encompassing tally. It's rare for any artist to dominate that much real estate on the listing at the same time. And somehow, the hip-hop superstar is yet still in great company when it comes to the musicians who have managed to see an entire album's worth of material make it to the top 100. There have been over 10 albums that have sent every track onto the Hot 100 for at least one frame, with names like Taylor Swift, Speak Now, Justin Bieber, Purpose, Drake and Future, What a Time to Be Alive, and a handful of others having achieved the still rare feature. The Weeknd was able to do so most recently with his surprise #1 EP, My Dear Melancholy, which pushed half a dozen cuts onto the song's chart in April. Smiles Austin is a DMV-based artist born in Arlington, Virginia, walking distance from the nation's capital. Since a youngin', Smiles has been destined to claim the spotlight. He is dedicated to his music, his 2 children, and his late great-grandmother, specializing in hip-hop and rap, and with each passing project, from his first on Air It Out 2011 to the up-and-coming Is Truer Than the Truth TBD. Smiles keeps exceeding expectations. His new project, #NTTT, features his freestyles over Wiz Khalifa's Captain. He really set the bar with his verses on NTTT, Smiles. Who is Be Humble, you may ask? Be Humble is a 19-year-old man that is determined to accomplish his goals to becoming an artist. To overcome the struggle of living in poverty, Be Humble has consistently stayed dedicated to his music and is also a father with a full-time job as a CNA. So although he works to keep the bills paid, he always finds a way to his passion in the studio. It looks like Be Humble can't be knocked off his grind to the top. What about his music? Be Humble's music is very crafty. He raps about things he has been through and life or death situations he's found his way out of. The ups and downs of Be Humble's life have made his hunger for a happier life an expectation. Although he's in the hood, that doesn't mean he can't live a good life, because he's proving it through his music. And for the curious ones, like George, if Be Humble was born after Kendrick Lamar dropped Humble back in 2017? No. His humbleness comes from his mother. And until this day, she consistently reminds him to remain humble, so that's where Be Humble came from. And this was back in 2016. P.S. He's pushing to drop his mixtape in May called Be Humble's Mixtape. We'll keep you updated. Christian Hayes. Stage name is Arigos, which means to rise, to encourage, to bring up. A 19-year young senior attending Pickering High School, class of 2018, was born in Sierra Vista, Arizona, and grew up in Germany, and now currently stationed in a small town in Louisiana due to his dad being in the military. Being in such a small, peaceful town has been a huge reason why he started making music. He really gives the stillness and needs to seek Jesus, discover himself, and focus. Before Arrigo started making music, he had a rough childhood which made him who he is today. As a kid, he felt like an outcast. He was always the quiet kid type who was bullied, shunned, and looked down upon. Until about freshman year, Arrigos was diagnosed with depression, anxiety, chronic insomnia, and a mild processing disorder. But a power of unexplainable life was manifested inside of Arrigos, and his mindset began to change for the better. Arrigos turned his music, which has changed his entire mindset, and it comes so naturally to him. Then he started playing piano, violin, trumpet, French horn, guitar, and the drums. In middle school, he first started making beats on the GarageBand at a local teen center in Germany. He says, "I was never confident enough to pursue my music until I came to Louisiana." Arrigos released his hit single, "Should Have Told Me," which hits 23.3K plays on SoundCloud and gave him a lot of attention on social media. He was invited to perform at a showcase tour in New Orleans, an event where a new artist from around the state come to compete, and he won first place. He went on to produce his own beats, creating 2 more songs, "You Should Know" and "Just Row." These 2 songs, especially "Just Row," are a huge step for me as an independent artist. I am also currently working on a new single, "Zombie," and I featured track with a Houston rapper, Rome. We all called this one "Believe." Coming soon. Arrigo's quote says, "God is real, and everything I do in the name of His kingdom." Amen. Ryan Thomas McGuire Welch, aka CS, rapping out of Hartford area, Connecticut, is an American citizen and New Zealand citizen. Born and raised in Boston, MA, CS started writing rhymes when he was 11 years old when his parents would fight. It was a great way for him to cope. He never even rapped it out loud back then. When CS got into high school, he started freestyling with his boys during breaks. Going to an alternative school for kids with bad behavior got him to step his game up. Since he was young, he's had many people die in his life. He's had a brain infection, Lyme disease, overdoses, and was a part of violence. This motivated him to take his music seriously as a way to express his story and give the world a feeling of who he really is. Good people, good music, and good memories in the future are what he wants people to experience. His latest single, "Out of Control," has gone viral, and the Prodigy album is dropping soon, so stay tuned and support great talent.
Hey, it's number 5.
Drug deals in the Denny's parking lot, right next to all of the local shops. It's dark outside and it's 2 o'clock. In the backseat looking out for cops. Keep it all hidden in the glove box. I know that someday we'll need to stop. Better be careful, cause if you're not, they're gonna take everything you've got.
Cruising, never losing, boozing. Got a girl wetter than a tub of Whitney Houston. Boosting up in Dallas, knuckles, chuckles after buckling of knees. Honestly, you about to be history. Rising from the chaos and the misery. What's the mystery? Painting hoes' bodies like nudie nudie. She got fruity booty and she's popping coochie. Mixing cough syrup with ecstasy. Like any honey needing D sitting next to me. I got herbs if you need ingredients to recipe. Take a bigger shovel when you come to bury me. Cause honestly,
drug deals in the Denny's parking lot, right next to all of the local shops. It's dark outside and it's 2 o'clock. Keep it all hidden in the glove box.
Solomon Solo Cruz was born in Richmond, Virginia in 1991 and moved to Arizona at the age of 8. He grew up listening to Wu-Tang Clan, Chamillionaire, Busta Rhymes, and Outkast. He found his passion for music at the age of 16 when his friends would ask him to make mixed CDs of his favorite tracks. From there, he would pursue DJing, which he still does on the side. However, he found that his true passion was writing and recording music. His personal favorite rap artist is Method Man, and his top 5 all-time rap artists are, in no specific order, Method Man, A$AP Rocky, Chamillionaire, Drake, and Currency. His latest project is called Brain Space, which is to follow his energetic EP, Memory Banks, which dropped in November of last year, and has been described to take the listener into the mind of Solo. His last 2 singles, #Outminds and #Earth Branches and Seed, do just that as Outminds, which is a sample of Alana George. Touches on the tip of the iceberg of Solo's thoughts, and the Earth Branches and Seeds speaks on his family, his mom, sister, and son respectively. This project is set to be released mid to late June and boasts a 12-track playlist that should be exactly what music lovers are looking for. Log on to Hip Hop World PR for more news and to send your press to the media. I'm Rise and I am signing off.